Hey everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of July 19th, 2020. On the cover, we have One Piece, which is, oh, what is this? I mean, it is a dope cover. I guess it is Luffy's drawings of everyone, and by everyone, I mean no particular grouping of people, I guess. Like, we've got a couple of the Straw Hats. We got Hattori over here. We have Zeph. A member of the Big Mom Pirates, whose name I don't remember. I don't know who this is. Who is this?
Pearl
Who's Pearl?
from Don Creek.
Oh, really?
You don't remember Pearl? He has never bled his entire life.
I don't remember Pearl. Did Luffy even meet, what is his name? Baby Man.
Senior Pink?
Senor Pink, yeah. Did they ever meet?
I don't think so.
Luffy, what is happening? Also, what is Senor Pink doing here? Is he pooping?
Why is Chopper on here twice?
He likes Chopper, I guess. I can't... I guess these all are probably original. At first I was thinking, like, are these just all the images we've seen Luffy draw throughout the series? But then that would bring up the question of when did he draw Senor Pink, so it can't be.
Nice.
Interesting collection. Very eclectic. Oh, it's probably the 23rd anniversary. I think that's correct. That's what I'm guessing. Because we had the 20th not that long ago. If it's not the 23rd anniversary, I don't know what it is. That said, also, I mean, it's pretty wild to get a color page for your 23rd anniversary, but I guess it makes sense. 97 equals 23. Yeah. So I think it is 23rd anniversary then. Nice. Alright, so, with that problem solved, let us move on to a series that is not physically in Weekly Shonen Jump at all. I'm talking about Ghost Reaper Girl, Chapter 1. Oh wow, that actually worked out really well. It even capitalized it and stuff. Cool. Anyways, the only thing I know about this is that this was drawn by I don't even know if it was written and drawn, but I know that the creator of Rosario to Vampire is involved in this, and I really do like Rosario to Vampire. I mean, it's got its problems, but in general, I really like it. Oh yeah, I should probably make a guess. My guess is it's going to be an Exorcist series. I mean, Ghost Reaper Girl, like, especially since I'm now looking at ghosts on the cover, I imagine it is going to be a ghosts have infected the human world, and now this girl becomes a Reaper because a different girl saves her family because they're being attacked by an evil ghost, and then she has to stab her scythe into the main character girl, and then she transfers her Ghost Reaper powers into her. Okay, wait a minute. I guess we're reading it left to right. Alright. I've never seen this on the Shonen Jump site, so it really messed me up. Okay. If we escape to the real world, we can be free. Oh, man. Now, this is straight up just Sukune's design when he transforms, you know, like when he's in his ghoul state. Like, his hair goes all light, it's all spiky. Even the chain... I mean, I guess he didn't have chains across his chest. But still, like, the chain motif with the... I forget what it's called. Okay, the original creator made it right to left for Japanese, but requested that it be left to right for Western audiences. I see.
Why?
I mean, Rosario to Vampire was very popular, very successful in the West, so he would know that Westerners can definitely read manga from left to right, or right to left.
Fine.
Maybe. Oh boy, okay. Ghost Reaper Girl number 1, May I Come In, by Akisa Wait a minute. Let me look this up. I could be wrong. I mean, these are very Rosario, like, late game Rosario to Vampire Season 2 designs. But that was not his name, right? Okay, never mind. I get... Sorry, I'm just gonna check this Twitter comment. Okay, so he just changed his pen name. Yeah, because I was gonna say this name looks so much more not normal Japanese. Yeah, I was thinking of Ikeda at the very least. Okay, a lot of interesting changes. But okay, cool. Also, the chain motif coming back again, like, more so than just the chests. I really like the way this looks. Like, I guess this had to have been physically painted, right? I'm sure, like, there's got to be some sort of technology you can get in order to, like, approximate these brushstrokes, but it looks so physical. Wait, you can't read it horizontally on Manga Plus. Like, it's locked to just vertical only? That's even weirder. But gosh, this aesthetic is so good. Plus, I guess in that case, she probably isn't a human who becomes a Ghost Reaper girl. It probably is that they're already a team and they've got, like, a thing going on. You know, this is really gonna mess me up for the rest of the stream, because, like, when I read manga locally on my computer, I have it set up so, you know, like, if I press right, it goes forward, but it moves to the left, like, for manga reading. And so every time I go to Viz, it screws me up that, you know, I actually have to hit the correct direction to progress. But boy, this is... I'm Chloe Love. So she's probably a foreigner then, okay. I mean, very English name. My best quality is my cheerfulness. I'm 28 years old. I mean, this is some classic manga face. I guess we'll have to just keep on going and see if anything looks clearly mirrored. Actually, the question marks here. Those are...
No. Okay.
Actually, wait a minute. These are also flipped, aren't they?
Yeah, they just didn't bother to retype some.
I can't believe I didn't notice that. No? I mean... They had to have retypeset that, though, right? Did they just leave the number?
I don't know.
There's no way! That's not how...
Wait, no, that's not flipped at the bottom. What are we talking about? That's not flipped.
Is it not?
I mean, it's a weird question mark, but that's not. That wouldn't be flipped. The ones at the top are flipped.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's... the font just threw me off.
Yeah, same. I went along with it.
Okay. But I mean, yeah, she looks extremely youthful. Ah, okay. I've even been the starring role in a late-night TV series, a horror action show called Ghost Reaper Girl. So that's where the title comes from. I mean, I guess then it must be... I was gonna say, like, oh, I guess then she has to become a real Ghost Reaper girl, but I guess it could also just be that she plays a Ghost Reaper girl on TV, but she's also just a real one at the same time. I could see this doing really well. I mean, it is very exploitation-y, but still. How lucky. What a find. Okay, he's being possessed. You know, because so many Exorcist/yokai series are running in Jump right now, like, I've already been pretty aware of all the tropes, but, like, specifically the female character who is full of energy that ghosts have to feed upon, like, it's so common! Why is it not anything else? Like, even Inuyasha had the, you know, she's the priestess. You know, she has the power to destroy spirits, as opposed to every female character in Jump in a yokai series having unlimited amounts of spiritual energy inside of her. Oh boy, okay, what is this? What is this design gonna be, is what I should say. Oh boy. I mean, it's pretty generic. The coming out of the mouth is pretty gross. But this looks like one of the first hollows we ever see in Bleach, right? Like, specifically the eyes and, like, the head. Like, I mean, minus the mask, obviously. Oh, yeah, I can see the Slimer vibes as well.
I mean, that top panel, that's just Slimer, right?
Oh, yeah, that's Slimer. Hmm. And so we cut to her, I guess her manager saying, it's your temper that's costing you these jobs. So the next time you get in a fight, you're fired. So, classic Rosario kick. I mean, I am glad that it was a I'm going to be, I'm going to kick him in the face, as opposed to a, well, I guess I'm going to let this ghost molest me. Mm. So far, not really into these ghost designs. I mean, I think these are going to be the generic designs, and then we'll get like more detailed ones for like the actual fights. Yeah, like the kick was also a very, an outer mocha, or sorry, inner mocha, know your place, like high kick. Very, very clear. Uh, well, how would I say it? Like, it's not a reference or anything. It's just he's so extremely good at drawing women with one leg super high in the air. That was a very like. It's like when you read a Fukumoto manga and you see someone's face and the face looks the same like 50 times. It's the same thing. Like every know your place kick looks the same to me. Ah, damage. Good points. Like maybe she just straight up did not see the ghost. Hmm. Okay. I mean, I guess that would explain why it is that she has this strong fighting instincts. Like, she started off as a fighter when she was young, and, like, she's worked her way up to being, in a position where she can try and be a model. Yeah, the baseball bat is really strong, and also like I do really love this aesthetic of, her being this like street rat essentially, and looking up and seeing a model on a billboard and going, I want to be that. Like not I want to work my way slowly upwards, but I want to, like I'm aiming for the goals. I mean, the fact that she seems so surprised by this makes me fairly certain that she is not, in fact, a Ghost Reaper girl right now. Or, like, she doesn't have powers right now. Huh. Yeah. I also do like this aesthetic of, like, it's not just a tentacle going into her mouth or anything. It is, like, entering her nervous system, it looks like. Hmm. You know what? This gives me a lot of strong vibes. Like, this really gives me the same vibes as, what's his face's All Ghouls School. The series that the Food Wars mangaka duo did very recently. I mean, I guess it wasn't a series; it was a one shot. But it has that very like super handsome man fighting ghosts aesthetic. I will say this does give me higher hopes though. Yugen's, that's what it was. It was Yugen's all girls homeroom, right? But like this has definitely got me more hooked. I'm still not hooked, but like I do like the female main character's backstory thus far. All ghouls homeroom, that was it. Hmm. Lolitas are meant to be admired. See, that is also actually a very Yugen line. Yeah, I can see why this would be a meme page, especially with like the way he's posing and stuff. It's got a very strong put in your own words vibe to it. And of course the contrast of, oh my gosh, you're 28 compared with you're a Lolita. Oh, damage. Let me just put this up on screen. Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, he didn't have much time to do this, so I'll appreciate it for what it is. Could have been a little better. Hmm. Also, why are the ghosts correcting him about this? Hmm. Hmm? Okay, how? I mean, I guess it has to be that he is, like, the only fan of her late night TV series. Which, if he's the one who gives her her powers, that would also explain why it is that she ends up turning into Ghost Reaper Girl specifically. Like, if it is I based this on your persona in the game or in the TV show. But yeah, I guess, like, if the series is being drawn with the intent of it being flipped, we're also going to definitely, like, the art's gotta, like, avoid having kanji in it. It's gonna have to have a lot of very, like, symmetrical designs, because otherwise a lot of this is gonna fall apart. It's got very light gag energy to it, but it's not enough for me to consider it comedic. I mean, like, clearly that is the juxtaposition of he's super handsome and he's super strong, but he's also a lolicon. I guess the thing is also, like, we're not seeing him with an actual lolly. So it negates the, the inherent freaky factor of, oh no, he's really hot, but oh no, he's going after a child.
Does it?
I mean, anyone can say anything. Like, if he's only saying, I am a lolicon, and the only person he goes after is Chloe, who is clearly an adult, then it's not going to... I mean, I guess there is some level of weirdness to it, but it's not going to be enough for me... it's not going to make me laugh. Oh boy, if the translator has to start flipping individual panels on the page, no, there's no way. There's no way. I'm Kai Iod. I've come from the realm of Hades. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so he is like a fan of her specifically, like of everything she's in, which is really weird. Like, that is profoundly strange. I mean, unless this was a setup, which I guess that would actually make sense. Ah, classic. Classic, your genetic makeup as a spirit medium. Hmm. But I mean, this also gives me very light Garo vibes, like in the sense of clearly because she has this much power, when she's not transformed, she's going to be constantly under attack by spirits, which creates the immediate like we don't have to have an actual antagonist for at least the first volume, because spirits are just naturally going to keep on attacking her in a Monsters Week format. Boy, oh, the way Kai looks is also like specifically this shot really bothers me for some reason. Like, I think it is the contrast of the very harsh lighting on him, like, because of his outfits, but also his hair. Like, he has very harsh lighting on him, where Chloe has normal manga lighting. It's, like, how would I put this? It would be like a shot in Death Note where, like, light is supposed to look super exaggerated, but it's contrasted with his dad on the same on the same panel, looking completely normal. I think it's just his hair that bothers me. Why is this their dynamic? Oh, okay. So I guess they're going to have to fuse. I actually really like that as a gimmick, though. Like, if she ends up having a harem of spirits and all of them like enter her to change her form, that'd be pretty cool. Like a Deno situation. I mean, this isn't Bone Collection. I like Bone Collection. Bone Collection's premise is not unique, but it is relatively unique within the realm of yokai series, in that it is a you have to pull energy out of me so I can slowly become more and more human. I guess reverse bone collection makes sense. It is a I need to be inside of you so I don't die, which is extremely common. That's the thing. I've read so many manga with that premise. Oh boy, she gonna get molested on the train. Hmm. Oh, I guess he probably possessed this random dude then. Hmm. Oh, that's supposed to be the producer. Oh no. I mean, yeah, I kind of figured this is where we were going with this. Hmm. Okay. I guess that also does create a reason why you would have, like, going forward, like, why there would be mook spirits at all, or, like, just random mindless guys who just, work under another spirits. Like, rather than it being a power scaling thing, it would be these spirits are all possessing random people, but only one of them managed to find an actual proper vessel. I guess the fact that she can draw any, like the fact that she is a perfect vessel for any spirits does it stops the one thing that could have made this the most generic, which would have been the two of us are a perfect genetic match, which is why we can fuse together properly. Like only you're the only girl for me, even though you hate me and I keep on saying creepy things to you. It's full of vor and also rape implications. It's such a weird combo. I mean, it's not that he doesn't look cool, but and like the flow of action is fine, but something about this bothers me. We'll just keep on going though. I mean, homie, feet are going to be involved. This is the Rosario mangaka. I mean, he didn't draw a lot of like feet specifically, but there's gonna be a lot of kicks. And actually, yeah, like I think a big part of the uncanniness is probably just the fact that the art was drawn one way and then flipped. Like it's not that the flow of action is wrong. Like especially like this this flow of chain moving in this direction and then here and then here. Like it's fine, but it still feels off to me. Oh, this is gonna bother me so much. Hmm. I do like the phrase Arkham bullets. That is okay. That is a cool name, like a cool name for a plate specifically. Ah, okay, that does make sense. The big question then is, oh, actually, no, it's not a question. Like we already have the explanation of like he has to be tied to her. Like while he exists separately from her, it is taxing. So I guess that would be those would be the chains that then connect them. It would be the I can only exist, like I have to stay around you, I have to observe your energy, I have to go inside of you. I guess that would then be the chains that connect them. Plus, there might be like an overtone of the reason why he works for Arkham Bullet is because he himself is a evil spirit who had to be like chained down. I can see something like that going on. Hmm. Also, I guess then that Like, the reason why they can hurt her is specifically because she's such a strong medium. Like, they can interact with her and also, forcibly possess her. Whereas with just random people, I guess, then they can't be that dangerous. I don't know, because they can just straight up possess people. I mean, I guess possession is different from physical harm. Like, the danger is that they can possess people, not that they're going to, like, cut their heads off. Also, it might be just a little too cute that they are called Ghost Reapers, and the show she's in is Ghost Reaper Girl, and then she is going to be Ghost Reaper Girl, I guess. It's not bad, but it's one of the. It'd be like if in Hell Warden Higema there was also a Hell Warden TV show that Higema designed himself after, but also Hell Wardens were real. Like, there's a little too much cuteness there. But then again, I have not finished the chapter, so I probably shouldn't dunk on the entire premise that quickly. Her priorities are very strange. Like, with the initial thing, we had she was attacked by ghosts, but her main thing was, oh no, the producer, made advances on me. And now, as she's running away from great danger, her thought process is specifically, like, thinking about how, yeah, there's no way that Ghost Reaper Girl is getting a sequel. I mean, I guess that actually does show that she cares a lot about acting specifically, because both of those are her focusing more on the acting side of her life than the immediate danger she is in. So I guess I'm okay with that. I mean, I guess the thought process here is, I don't know what the immediate thought process would be. Like, clearly this is also her fixating back upon that dream. Like, back upon seeing the billboard once again and knowing that she can be here. I guess it is that she needs to protect her only fan. Hey. Besides, being an actress was more of a whim. I just wanted society to take notice of me. Okay, so I guess that's where we're going with this. That feels real weird. It felt like they were really building up the actress thing, but never mind, I guess. Not gonna lie, I was hoping for like, if you're going to rip off anything in Jump, I would rather a series try to rip off / be influenced by Actage as opposed to the 7 other Exorcist series running in it. Oh boy, I really want to see this design because I really do not care for their normal designs very much. I mean, I guess we saw it on the color page, but I don't remember what she looked like on the color page. Alright, he's going in. I feel like the volume is going to change it to come inside my body. Is it that is he made of chains? I mean, clearly that's the implication here, but this raises a lot of questions as to, like, what he is. Oh, we got the magical girl transformation sparkles around her. Like, it's an actual transformation sequence. That's pretty dope. I mean, it's alright as a design. And I do appreciate, I do think that the chains are a cool motif. Her skirt's also chained onto her belt. Yeah, it's alright. Like, it's nothing too special. Like, it's not a, I adore this design. But hey, I mean, again, it's only chapter 1. It'll grow on me, probably. It's Magical Girl Soul Eater. Ah, yeah, she's got a scythe and everything. I guess so. I mean, I'm saying that very glibly, but yeah, I see what you're saying. What is going on with this cape? Oh, it's torn. I thought it was made of hair for a moment, like, because of the way it's stroked and the fact that, like, you know, we've got all these big breaks in it, but okay, no, it's just torn. I mean, I guess it raises the question of why it's torn. Oh, did he take control? Is that what happens? Yeah, I don't know where the scythe came. I mean, I guess it is Ghost Reaper Girl. Like, I guess it is the Reaper aspect of it. Like, he wasn't able to use the scythe himself because that's not his thing. Like, she uses a scythe because she played the role of Ghost Reaper Girl. Whereas he is just chains, therefore all he could use were the chains. Oh boy! Oh boy. That's some real... I mean, I wouldn't say that's Soul Eater. It's really Fairly Odd Parents. I mean, I can't say I dislike it, but boy. It's got a very strong Cosmo turned into a scythe energy to it. Okay. So, he is physically inside of her, but then he also manifested the scythe as a, I'm going to talk to you through this.
Is this the talentless Nana for Soul Eater?
I mean, maybe.
That's really the vibe I'm getting. Like, someone read Soul Eater and went, what if I just made it the worst thing on Earth?
It bothers me how upbeat she looks a lot of the time. Like, her default expression is happy. I mean, that's not a negative as a person, but, like, from her characterization, like, she is this very downtrodden person. She is, like, she's clearly struggled to get to where she is, and where she is an actress that isn't really getting a lot of work. Like, a lot of her expressions feel very inconsistent with who she is as a person. I mean, true damage. True. I mean, I guess that is also a form of resilience, is never, never letting yourself get down. Plus, like, I imagine, like, her raw spiritual energy is also part of the reason why she looks so youthful all the time. We could probably tie that into why it is that he thinks that she's a lolly. Like, if Kai's thing is, you have, the soul energy of a 5-year-old. Because, like, when you're a kid, you have a lot of energy, and then as you get older, you lose it. But she's never lost it. Like, something like that. Oh, boy. Donut's going to destroy the wall.
Hmm?
If Talentless Nana gets an anime, and everyone loves it.
I'm not gonna be surprised in the slightest.
There's only so much of my room.
I mean, it's already getting an anime.
Ah, okay. Ah, okay, I see. Now, oh no! I was expecting this to be like, it is the classic. You hurt the spirit, but you don't hurt the person, so it's fine. Like, you can do all the violent stuff you want. But now we also have a specific skill for it, or rather, it's called Through the Blood. It's a special ability called Skill. We're really missing the Iraqi quotes on them. This really needed to be bolded. Because without the bolding, a special ability called a skill sounds insane. And I mean, it is. It's a really strange choice. Oh my god, I didn't even consider this. The fact that Through the Blood is a special ability called a skill also means that there are going to be other Reapers who don't have Through the Blood, and therefore they are just going to straight up kill people. Ah, you did it subconsciously. You have a natural gift for spirit slaying. Hmm. Being able to transform and even use a skill. But okay, so I guess that also confirms, like, it's her skill. Like, it is her thing specifically. So if someone else were to, if Kai were to enter anyone else, they would not have Through the Blood. He would just straight up kill them. With that body, I could become even a high-level demon. Alright, time for the power of friendship. Now, when I said I expected there to be a unique design for the big fight, I wasn't expecting he's just a dude, but he's got big tentacles. I do like Kai's expressions a lot. Like, I think the hard contrasts, and I guess that means that the hard contrast of Kai's normal body and Chloe, like, that was most likely intentional then, because now we have the 3 layers of hyper detailed, which is him, then Chloe, who looks more generic anime, and then Kai's scythe form, which is Cosmo from the Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah, like, I can't deny it. I do like the aesthetic. And I mean, at this point, I do see where the series was going with the all the the sexual assault and stuff. Like, it is a clear, everyone only cares about her body. Even the spirits only care about her body. But there is one person in the world who cares about her as an actress. Like, even if being an actress is not her raison d'etre, like, it is still, he cares about her and what she wants to do. Like, even her design as Ghost Reaper Girl is clearly I know you did the series, so I'm going to make you look like this character, as opposed to just some random thing thrust upon you. Ah, I see. Because, of course, she knows how to use a baseball bat, she can also use a scythe. I'm not against the idea of her finisher being, a bit. This is so weird to me artistically because it is clearly I want her leg to be high, like Mocha from Rosario to Vampire, but I don't want another main character whose main thing is using kicks. So it's just a scythe swing that also makes her leg go super high. I mean, I am glad, like, clearly, the mangaka is trying something clearly different from what he did before. I mean, there's a lot of similarities. there's some problems, but, I mean, props. Ah, okay, so, where do we end this? Okay, so I guess the contract then is the chains that bind them. I mean, it's super low-hanging fruit, but I will laugh at any mention of Cube in a Magical Girl series, which I guess is, yeah, like, this is essentially a Magical Girl series then. Ah, Novo, I really want the Den-O harem though. Like, it is specifically the fact that she can harbor any spirits that makes me really want it to be a harem slash reverse harem. Okay, you want to become famous and make society take notice, right? Hmm. Okay. I actually really do. I do like this as the ending note for the chapter. Like, I really like the idea of it being a, like, it's not that you're going to skulk in the shadows. It is, like, you are going to become famous by being Ghost Reaper Girl. I do think that's a really interesting, like, place to take this. Especially because, as she said in the chapter, she doesn't really care about being an actress. She just wants the world to take notice of her. So if she becomes like a public ghostbuster, that is an interesting way to take it. It would make it a lot less generic than the classic you fight ghosts in secret and no one can ever know. I mean, I guess we'll see. Like, the fact that the world doesn't already know about ghosts, like, the fact that it's not a normal thing that we just saw, like, casual mentions of, implies that there has to be some level of conspiracy. Like, there has to be a, oh, what is the term for it? Like, a masquerade. Like, there's gotta be something there. Like, regardless of whether you can't see them, like, if they really do exist, and especially if they can just, like, if they can possess anyone, which they clearly can, like, they can't unleash their full power if they don't possess someone who is compatible, but they can just possess anyone and turn them into zombies. You would think that would happen a lot more often then. I mean, I guess we also have the thing of Hades broke open and a bunch of ghosts just came out. Like, presumably that, like, most of the time, ghosts wouldn't even exist at all in the human world, except for right now. Hmm. I mean, I would say that Yugen's. I mean, it wasn't chapter one though. That was a one shot. I would say that Yugen's was worse than this. Like, there are glimmers of something I like in here. Now, it's not enough for me to follow the series. I think I'll, like, in a month or so. How often does this update? But like when a couple of chapters come out, I might just do like a big read of just those chapters and then see how I feel about it. Like I did the same thing with Spy X Family, where it was really really popping off, and I said, well, I'm just gonna wait a little bit, and then I didn't want to actually pick it up. Bi-weekly. Okay, sure. In that case, I'll give it like a month or two without like continuously following it. Because right now, especially because if it is bi-weekly, it's most likely going to be a lot longer. Like, each chapter is going to be longer than a weekly series. And right now, I'm pretty shaky about it. Oh no, my phone's dying. Let me just plug it in real quick. But yeah, I'm so curious as to why this is on viz.com/shonen jump, because like, not everything, but a lot of Jump Plus series are Manga Plus exclusive. Like, that is the deal they made. Specifically, it's that Viz was allowed to do this. Like, they were allowed to create this new system of, it's not a magazine. The new chapters are completely free for everyone to read. We do split it into individual, series. And in exchange, Manga Plus gets to have all of our translations for essentially free. Plus, they get exclusives, which are, all the Jump Plus series that run on there. So most Jump Plus series do not show up here. Like, the only ones I can think of are this and Spy X Family. And Spy X Family only started showing up here after it was already unbelievably popular. Like, ridiculously popular. So, really strange. Actually, I think Jigoku Raku is also a Jump Plus series. Never mind. Jigoku Raku does feel like something that could run in Jump, though. Like, I mean, I get why it doesn't. It is a little more slow paced. Like, I don't think it would work well in the vault, like in a weekly thing itself. Plus, it is bi-weekly, but yeah, I do think the flipping was an issue to some degree. Like, it wasn't the worst part of it, but it did make a lot of scenes where I thought it was like where it should have just been average. It made them feel below average. Anyways, where do I rank this bad boy? I mean, it is the first thing I read, so I guess I don't have to say anything right now. I get to do whatever I want. I can't imagine it's gonna hold up, though. Just gonna say it right now. Hey, Novo. I get a strange thrill out of knowing that X series is first and last simultaneously. I mean, the Boruto situation was insane. Anyways, that is Ghost Reaper Girl. Let's move on to Me and Roboco, Chapter 3. Chapter 3, Her and Roboco. Oh my gosh. Is Roboco going to have cover stories? I mean, this isn't a cover story, but it is a classic, like, Oda request. It feels so bizarre seeing this in a series that isn't Jump. Also, who sent in this request? Like, the series has existed for 3 weeks. Who looked at the series and went, "Hey, I would like to see Roboco struggling after a bad 7th round as the crowd of Robocos watch." Yeah, I could see that. Hey, Donut. Is this not extremely bizarre to see this in something that isn't One Piece?
Oh yeah, that looks like a One Piece cover.
Yeah!
And they picked the worst part about One Piece.
Anyways, who is her? Also, I am trying to sandbag you guys, but I admit it. I get it. I know the bad quotes. I accept it. I was trying to brush by to see if you guys would just go like, "Oh, well, clearly he isn't reacting to it, so maybe he didn't say it." Anyways, her the only female character we have seen. I mean, we've seen the main character's mother, and we have seen Mako. So it's got to be one of the two. I think it's gonna be Mako then. I think it's got to be like the two of them, specifically Gachi Gorilla's Mako and Roboco becoming friends. I think that'd be a really cool like we are exploring the concept of what is Roboco. Like if we're really gonna dive deep into it, then I think it'd be really cool to have the two of them immediately be sisses. I was gonna say bros, but I guess they'd be sisses. Okay, so they're all Makos. Oh boy, I sure hope we don't have to slowly memorize everyone's individual Mako. Like that would be like it would be like if in JoJo's, like they introduced stands, but all stands were Star Platinum. But you know, just very slightly different. Okay. Why do order maids like what do order maids have to do with a mandatory disaster preparedness week? I guess it must be a like in order to be safe, your order maid should be next to you so that it can stop bullets and stuff, I guess. Oh boy, here we go. I do like the gag of her panties always having different stuff on it. Like that, something about that tickles me quite a bit. Homie, Gotcha Gorilla is a treasure upon the earth. He's so good. Now, I get this reference, but why? I'm losing my mind over the idea of someone impersonating Kay from Actage by just having panties that say Princess Iron Fan on them. The one role we've seen where it wasn't like it wasn't even her the whole time. The whole point of the Princess Iron Fan arc is that two people were Princess Iron Fan. Oh. Chicken tendies. Oh god, I gotta screen cap this one. I can't believe this. Also, Novo, it kills me that, like, Actage is doing really well. We have Volume 1 out already, and they still have not closed this gap. I still cannot say, hey guys, you know, get a jump subscription for, like, $2 and read Actage because it's really good. You have to read the scanlations in order to read Actage, which I did do. And the scanlators did, like, go right up to where the gap ends. Like, they did fill in the gap, thankfully. I'm just gonna post this, I guess. I don't know why. It's just the choice of tendies that I love. I mean, I guess they are appealing towards the memers with the series. Like, if anyone is going to make the series popular in America, it's going to be the meme crowd. I just zoomed out. I gotta zoom back in. If it was any other kid, I would not find it this funny, but specifically, the fact that it is Gotcha Gorilla, who is so upset about not getting his tendies, is so good. The sound effect of Sardine is also very inspired. Oh, a female character. She's the she. Vondo's classmate, Madoka. This is so good. She's the Madoka of my heart, a Madoka for all seasons, a Madoka among Madokas, and she's talking to me. So good. I've been playing a lot of Magia Record, and I imagine you could do some really good, you know, Madoka Magica edits with this. I do really like that the gag around Roboco, it changed so quickly from Roboco sucks because she's so muscly and weird to everyone does love Roboco. Like, Roboco is great. The struggle of the series so far has not, like, apart from Chapter 1, the struggle has not been inconsistent, like, oh no, Roboco's so bad because she's got the ugly Nappa knees. It has been a consistent, once people see what she can do, everyone loves her. Oh, maybe she chose Actage because Bondo reads Actage. That said, as someone who loves Actage, I don't know if, like, if I weren't dating Donuts and you came to the house, I don't know if my first act would be like, hey, you want to read Actage? I don't know if that's a good first date manga. I really appreciate that me and Roboco is a gag series that just has random gags. That's so unmodern Jump. It feels like every Jump gag series is so extremely formulaic. Like it is like here, you know the characters. Here's their gags. Also, here's a new gag for the chapter. Also, here's the focus of the chapter. Roboco is one of the only series I've read in Jump in the longest time that just does gags. What does this have to do with anything? I mean, I guess it is the double-edged sword of, I'm glad that these aren't, like, connected to anything. I'm glad they are just, references. But at the same time, it's not, that doesn't make them good. Oh yeah, the knife. I mean, yeah, Roboco knows what's up. I thought you wanted to become intimate with Monica. I am really, really glad that this is Bondo. Like, Bondo is a kid. Like, he is in, like, 6th grade. He doesn't know what to do with a girl in his room. Like, I'm very happy that that is the case, as opposed to in, Magu-chan, God of Destruction, where we have the main male character whose the entire premise of that, like, of his relationship with Magu-chan, the main character of Magu-chan, is, I don't want the girl I like to know I like her. So please don't tell her that I like her, or, create an opening for us to become more intimate. It's so... What is Japan doing? I mean, I know Magu-chan is the Eldritch Abomination, but I would say that, the Eldritch Abomination is the title character. I guess that's what I meant more. Like, you got the main character, you got the title character, and then you have the male character as well, I guess. Oh boy, big concern. I mean, she's being reasonable, but that means that she's going to be completely insane. Oh boy! Roboco fortune telling fuses fashion and fortunes for a completely new experience. Oh boy! She has so many buttons! Oh no, why is it moist? I mean, I guess props on Monica for allowing this to happen. Like, clearly she is very concerned by what's happening, but she still went for it. What is this gag? I might have to retract some of my pros for Roboco. I mean, I get the joke, but at the same time, oh boy. This could be a translation thing, but, I mean, like, this is a very clear joke. Like, it is the not bad, not Bakuman. Like, it doesn't feel like a bad translation. It feels like a bad joke. Oh no. Oh, we saw her cook before. This is not going to be good. I mean, this might just be a bunch of ingredients, which isn't the worst. I used eggs, sugar, milk, and flour, and it starts with the letter P. What could this be? Our, if someone said, I'm going to make some sweets, and they gave me a pancake, I feel like I'd feel wronged on some level. The answer is POW! Flower Festival Floats! I I mean, pancakes are, by definition, cakes that you make in a pan, so I guess I am wrong. Like, mostly when I make pancakes, they are savory rather than sweets, but there's no reason why you couldn't make them sweets. Also, it's only chapter 3, but I do like this gag of Roboco just giving you the ingredients. There's something about it that I do find very endearing. Hmm. Madoka is so... She's such a go-getter. She's so, like... It feels like it's impossible to ruin this date because she's so okay with it. Oh, she's gonna crush him. She's going to annihilate Vondo. There's no way he's coming out of this okay. How did this happen? Oh no, Vondo's gonna get blacked. Is this a Kurosawa reference? What is this reference? I mean, the I bet my finger feels like a kaiji thing, but her design looks Kurosawa-esque. But also, I feel like I'm definitely missing something else. The queen of board games, mad. Also, how would Roboco know about this? As far as love interests in like in Shonen Jump go, Madoka might already be the best. I mean, it's a hard fight, but like within one chapter, she has so much of a personality. She has a backstory that's interesting. It feels real weird. What is this? What are we doing? Oh, she's transforming. What is the situation? See, this is a genuinely perfect, like, way to have your main character and his love interests not get together. This is 5,000 times better than the status quo in Maka-chan. And it does follow the theme of Roboco winning over everyone she meets, despite being the strangest being in existence. God, what a good chapter. I mean, this was a real high and low. So me and Roboco definitely above Ghost Reaper Girl. I imagine this gap is going to widen quite a bit as we continue to read. Yeah, there's nothing I really want to say. I imagine I'm not going to have a lot of, like, extra things to say with Roboco, so we're just going to move on. Fantastic chapter, though. Like, even with the things that I would consider to be slight misses, like, I think the absurdity of the references overrides any danger that could come from, you know, just not getting a reference or not getting a name. Like, even if you don't understand exactly what is happening, the energy is still there. I think it's a very clear distinction between this and something like Lycopene, where with Lycopene, a lot of the gags were just, here's a celebrity name. which did not make it funny because a lot of time there wasn't like an extra gag. It wasn't a like you're like this person with some added context to make you go like, okay, I guess the person's, like he's a serious guy or he's a nerd or something. Novo! No, Novo, you're not allowed to make posts like that! No one's gonna stick around for the whole stream! It's too accurate! I mean, at this point, everyone can just log off. You know it. That is how it's gonna be. But yeah, I think random and straightforward is the best way to put it. It is a really good blend of, if you know it, it's funnier. But if you don't know it, there's still a joke there. For most of them. One or two of them is just here's a name. But it's fine. Zaku. I wouldn't say it's completely awful, but it is not good. Also, Zaku's not here. I can't, just message him, so I guess you guys will fill him in. Anyways, that's Roboco. No more stalling. Let's move on to Time Paradox Ghostwriter, Chapter 10. Sorry, my phone is still charging, so I can't actually put it in voice chats. I can. I can just type it out like a hobo. I don't remember much about the time we first met, but the mysterious old man had all of the issues of Jump going back to the very first one. And for some reason, he waited in this lonely park every day looking for buyers. Oh, Chapter 10, Itsuki Aino. Okay. Huh. This is actually going to, not completely, but if the reason why White Knight is, such a generic, not isekai, why it is such a generic yokai manga, yet it is the best thing in Jump, that would make so much sense if it is she's read all of Jump, and through that, through her obsessive knowledge of Jump and her constant work on the series, she was able to refine it into the perfect Jump series. Oh, can we see what this is? Oh, it's the Jump robots! The one that's on the fridge. Huh. Oh, is he the mangaka of that series, perhaps? I wanted to do the same thing, to draw a manga that all of humanity would enjoy, but it never quite worked out. But despite that, I've had a very happy life. Okay. And he left behind the robot. Clearly, it's not the same robots. It almost certainly isn't the same one that Teppei now has fused into his fridge, but there's got to be a connection there. Oh, and that would explain why her room is the way it is. That's why she has so many, clearly, oh, that's such a good progression, too. Seeing the background slowly fill up with more Jump as she continues to buy it over the years. These 4 panels are so powerful. Also, the clear progression from, happy idealistic, hey, I'm just gonna draw this to see how it works, to, becoming more and more serious, and also, becoming more and more frustrated. Yeah, the evolution for hair looks so cool as well. It makes me feel like in the alternate timeline 10 years in the future, you probably can't see Itsuki's face. The further it goes, the more of her face gets obscured by the hair. So I imagine when she became a true mangaka, she probably does just have nothing but hair covering her face, but she still has the clips on. Well, Pep, she has one pen that's actually good, and she's been using that. Like, I imagine, the other G pens and the brushes and stuff are there in case she needs them, but she hasn't mastered this one yet. I mean, I don't know if jealous is the right term for it. I think it's less that she has a manga room and more that this is her room. Like, you can sleep on just straight tatami, so she might just live in here, like, with nothing else apart from the manga. Ah. And I like this does drive home that she is a lot like Tepe. Like they are two kindred souls. Like specifically this idea of creating creating this manga that she feels like this is the best I can do, and then destroying it because no she can't compromise. It needs to be the best manga. Huh. Okay. Personality is an important aspect of a creator that can make a manga entertaining, but in a negative sense, it can also make it feel too eccentric. In other words, the more personality, the more the story will or won't appeal to individual readers. If it's possible to create the ultimate manga that all of humanity can enjoy, it has to be without personality, but still be the most entertaining thing in the world. That does, I don't. I don't agree with it realistically, pragmatically, but I do think I do agree with this philosophically. Like, it is the classic, it is the inherent problem of if you make any decision in a series, you're going to lose people. Like, you will always have someone who looks at it and goes, I would have done this differently, or this wasn't quite right, or, there's always going to be some detraction. And yeah, so it feels like she is really just boiling, she has read all of Jump. She's continuing to read Jump. She's continuing to work on it, and she is boiling away each and everything that is a negative. I would not be surprised if by the time she started running White Knight, if she had already completed the entire series. Like, I think that would be the only way to make sure 100% that your manga is completely devoid of any feeling. Like, if you're creating something week to week, you are going to imbue some level of feeling in it, even if it is you just thinking, I've got a deadline, or, I saw this really cool twist, or even, like this other series did something like this, so I can't do it right now. Everyone's going to think I stole it. Like, I feel like she would have to make the entire series before she published the first chapter. And that's so cool. Like, I really love that we are seeing it from her perspective. And that even, Tepe is chasing this, this spirit, this dream of the real White Knight, the real best thing to ever run and Jump 10 years in the future. But she looks at it and she can still also see, this is perfect. Or not perfect, but, it's been elevated. And yeah, now we can see her resolve. It makes complete sense why she nearly stabbed Tepe's eye out, just making sure that he could see the nib of her pen. So he would understand by looking at the pen, oh, clearly this person is a good mangaka. It's not healthy. It sure is not healthy, but I really like the poetry of it, of the two of them are chasing one another. I'm so curious. I mean, White Knight is not something that someone could really make. It has to exist within the realm of Time Paradox Ghostwriter. It has to be a series that exists in theory but on practice. Because it is, at this point, the platonic ideal of Jump manga. It is the absolute this is a series that runs and jump and that is popular. Like, you cannot ascribe anything too direct to it. Like, we've seen little things. Like, we know what chapter, what was it, 31 is like, vaguely, but, like, we can't have a direct taste of it. Oh, she's pushing herself. I, I'm going to say, like, I've heard the theory of, she's going to push herself to overwork. I mean, people, you guys have posted that in the voice chat in the past. I'm going to stake right now that that is not why she dies. I think it is going to be some other condition that isn't just overwork. I think the overwork is going to exacerbate what's going on with her. This makes 30 straight weeks at #1. Oh, jeez. Also, once more, it feels like I say this every single chapter, so I do apologize if, if it's getting old. But I am so surprised by the pace of the series every single chapter. Every chapter I go, like, that's really crazy that we passed all the time. Or it's really weird that we covered that, in passing. I thought that was going to be like the whole series. This is insanity. Like, we went from Tepe going, well, I have to make sure she doesn't get #1 to keep her alive, to she's been #1 for 30 weeks straight. Like, this is, to do a me and Roboco reference, this is, Bakuman, except it's like the end game of Bakuman. And this is chapter 10 of Time Paradox Ghostwriter. Homie, I don't think I'm not scared that this pacing means the series is going to get canceled. I think it is just what I and what everyone thought the series was is not what the series is. Which I think does actually fits White Knight. Like, in the sense that one of the only things we know about White Knight is that every single chapter escalates beyond what people think should have happened. Like, Tepe, looking at it, looking at the last chapter he had and logically progressing from it was not enough, because, like, the editor was clearly hoping for something that was above and beyond. Something that was, it makes sense, but it's also far beyond your expectations. And I do think Time Paradox Ghostwriter itself is trying to do the exact same thing. Of every chapter, it does go beyond my expectations for what I thought the series was, let alone whether it was good or bad. Just what it is fundamentally seems to change every chapter. That is a shame that it's not doing well in Japan. Oh, jeez. That is crushing. Like, specifically seeing the table in the background. Because, like, we've seen so much of her back and, like, so much of her face that I didn't even consider, like, oh yeah, I guess she did have assistants before. She had to have had assistants if she was then to push them away. Also, it is a fundamentally tragic concept of the only way for me to make a series that does what I want to do is for me to put none of myself in it, and to also put none of anyone else in it. Like, she has turned herself into, oh my god, in the same way that Tepe has, was resigned to turning himself into just a vessel through which White Knight flows. Like, he didn't get to do anything. It was just, he's translating this incredibly perfect thing into a lesser form for people to enjoy. In the same way, Aino is doing that, except she doesn't have base material. She is creating something. There is a level of originality and creation in the process. But she has to intentionally try to push away anything that she herself individually would like. Ah. They really are two not exactly the same souls, but they're very similar souls. Huh. Uh, I'm actually feeling kind of bad for this old man. In the sense that, like, I mean, maybe he is the chess master making everything work out, but it's also very possible that I know, like, because of her isolation, because of her separation from other people, and the fact that she was being bullied, like, it's completely possible this is what sets her off on on the path to her own death. Like, it is completely possible that, if not for this, she may have recovered and become more of a functional human being. Whereas, because of this, she is inevitably going to work herself to death. I mean, I guess that brings up the question of, like, is it fine for her to be alive in the first place if it means dying, essentially? Like, is having a purpose worth it if that purpose is going to, by necessity, it's going to kill her? Welp. Hmm. Jesus Christ. I mean, within like one chapter, we have gone from this is what we need to do to, I guess she died. I mean, not necessarily. This could just be, the first instance of her passing out. Like, she's on the road to her own self destruction, but she's not there yet. That's what I'm going to assume is happening. I mean, the shooting star would be, it's a bit heavy of a misdirect if that is the case. Alternatively, no, there's no way. I was thinking this might not be the main timeline yet. Like, if it could be, first timeline, she works on White Knight. Second timeline, because Tepe interferes, he starts drawing White Knight, she draws plus anima. And then there could be a third timeline, which is the one where she's actually saved. That feels a little too cheeky, though. A little too high concept. Or not high concept, the exact opposite. Like, that feels a little too twisty. Because then we wouldn't be looking at the characters we know and love anymore. Or, actually, no, this could be a prediction of the future. Like, this could be what the robots told Tepe. Like, if you do not improve White Knight after, the first few chapters he submitted, like, this is what is exactly going to happen. Therefore, you still have time, you need to stop this from coming to pass. That's all I can think of. Otherwise, she dead. Like, damage. This can't be the first timeline, though. Because, because Tepe creates White Knight, it cannot possibly be the first timeline. There needs to be a timeline before that where White Knight is sent back to him and he draws it. I mean, it is completely possible that the timeline we've been watching is, we could have timeline A, she just makes White Knight. Timeline B, she makes White Knight, or she wants to make White Knight. Tepe starts making White Knight. She makes plus anima. Then she dies anyways. And then this could be the third timeline of, you can't, it's not enough for Tepe to start drawing White Knight. He also has to consistently beat her in the polls. Yeah, Pep, I can see that. Based on the pace, like, if it wasn't for the fact that we have, that White Knight has been described exactly like this, like, the fact that it is a manga that surprises you every single chapter and escalates every single chapter, like, if it wasn't for that, I would think this is getting canned very quickly. And it is possible, like, I could see just from the from the purchases of Volume 1, I could see the Jump higher ups saying like, you got until chapter 19, like it's done. Start playing the finale. But I hope that's not the case. I'd be very into like a long running series that is brave enough to do something like this, to like move at such a high speed, and to have the actual core of the series not be super apparent in the first couple chapters. I've been considering your posts, Novo, and I wouldn't be against it. But this would be a really weird way. Like, I'm not sure if I would enjoy the way the series would play out if it was a Groundhog Day situation of, like, we're going to keep on resetting. That's the thing. Like, I've read a lot of time loop series that I really, really enjoy, but I don't. I feel like time loops are the best when you have like like a mysterious problem that you just cannot surmount. Like the idea, the idea of it being that the loops just barely make it even. That said, like, I'm not going to say that any concept can work given enough, love and energy. So I'm not going to dismiss it out of hand, but I don't think that's where the series is going. I do think it's very possible this is not the main timeline, and that, this is just being used to show us more of Ino, and also to make it very clear to us, the audience, that yes, she will die of overwork. Like, that is the thing we're trying to prevent. But I'm hoping we don't go into I hope we don't go into loop territory. Anyways, that is Time Paradox Ghostwriter. What a strange trio of manga to be ranking / comparing to one another. I gotta put it in the middle. I really enjoyed me and Roboco. I enjoyed this chapter. I didn't enjoy Ghost Reaper Girl, so... I mean, Novo, you're not wrong. But yeah, my emotions are all over the place. So, I guess let's go to the most emotionally consistent series that I am reading in Jump. That is completely true, yes. I am talking, of course, about Undead Unluck, Chapter 25. If we can have normal bodies. Ah. Oh, this is so cute. The idea of Tatiana wearing clothing just makes me so happy. Huh. Ooh, does it, like, can you actually read these spines? Not really. That's clearly a T, but I don't know what else that word could be. Hmm. Oh yeah, the rom-com that Andy read all of. I guess that would have to be it, right? Oh boy, if Tatiana is a gamer, I'm going to lose my mind. Oh no, she's squatting. Also, why? Why in reference to why is he wearing his pants backwards? For what purpose? I mean, I guess just so that we don't have to see the censor bar again. Maybe? Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with her. I mean, when all you have to do, like, when you can only express yourself through the eyeball, I would want to have some strong eyeball control-y energy. Whew. No, I knew. I knew Gina was in love with me, and I killed her anyway. That's a fact I won't deny. I mean, come on, Andy, explain yourself. I mean, I guess that part of it is he wants Tatiana to get out all of her rage before he explains himself. Like, she needs the catharsis. If he were to, if he were to make her feel okay with him while not letting her vent her frustration, she would feel objectively worse than, if she gets to vent and then be told, like, hey, I had to kill her. I really appreciate that he's open and honest and also that he is intelligent. Like, I was surprised in chapter 1, and I continue to be surprised at the depth of his emotional maturity and his, like, intellect. Like, he is constantly thinking. He is constantly trying to figure out what is best for everyone. It's so un-Shonen Jump main character. Like, even amongst main characters that are very empathetic and that are, like, all about other people. Like, I think a lot of them still have this very callous, self-serving nature. Whereas Andy is fundamentally, like, he is self-serving. But he is also, like, he doesn't want to pull anyone down, apart from his absolute enemies. Like, he does try to make, like, he is the rising tide that makes all ships rise. He wants everyone to be happy, if at all, if possible. Like, if they are not his enemies, then he doesn't want to objectively hurt anyone for no reason whatsoever. He is Man Jump, not Shonen Jump. Oh, and she was shaken, which is pretty surprising. Like, yeah. So I guess even though Fuko is the one who killed Agena, like in terms of it was her ability that did it. She's like Tatiana doesn't seem to hold her at fault for it, or at the very least, she doesn't want to get her revenge on Fuko. Oh no, Andy, what are you doing? Why? For what purpose? This is a real 5,000 IQ play. My IQ is too tiny to understand why this was a good idea. I just finished talking about how emotionally intelligent Andy is, and I don't... I have to believe that this is the most emotionally intelligent decision to make. But I don't think my brain is capable of figuring this one out. Oh, I didn't even consider that. Man, Nico's gotta be by at the very least. I mean, I guess that's blood coming out of his mouth like he's dying. I was envisioning it as more of a nosebleed. Also, like, in order to make this happen, like, I mean, I guess his pants were annihilated, which would be why he did this, as opposed to, sure. I get, like, it's not like he had to take off the pants. Oh, actually, I mean, I don't think he intended for this to occur, but I guess, like, turning the pants backwards also obscured his penis, so then, like, showing it was more impactful. Like, not having censor bar and then seeing censor bar is much bigger than just constantly seeing censor bar, but now he's on top of Tatiana. Oh, Okay. 3 minutes until compulsory release of UT area. Evacuation 1 kilometer radius is advised. Huh. Okay. So she is just going to explode, essentially. Or not necessarily explode, but, like, her ability is going to explode. Huh. Untouchable area. Okay. Yeah, Novo. That makes sense. Because the U is definitely something. Like, it's definitely something. Like, it is her ability. So it would have to be untouchable, unthinkable, Like, it is. Like, the fact that she has a robot body also, I think, would imply that there has to be some level of, it serving as both a physical necessity. Like, she would kill the rest of the Union if she didn't have the body. But I think it would also have to be something along the lines of, like, she is emotionally distant from everyone else. Like, there is a clear separate. Because I'm also trying to think of, like, why would Gina be the one person she cares about this much? Like, to the point where she is, she wants to avenge Gina specifically. And I think it must be that her ability has to be something that would kill anyone except for Gina. Like, Gina has the unbreakable barriers, so she could just walk in, presumably, and, hang out with her. Ah, Pep. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that would also fit her name that would, like, make sense. Also, one last thing before I turn the page. It would make her a strong parallel to Fuko, in that they are both untouchable, like, in different reasons. Like, it would be that Tatiana is literally, like, that is her negator ability. It is untouch. Whereas Fuko just should not touch anyone. But yeah, like, it would be phrased, like, in the same way that, you've got, like, unbreak or whatever. Like, it would be untouch. I am very, very glad that, like, they have procedures for this. It also feels very Evangelion. you know, I don't like. We can't deny that Fuko is also smashing her face into the exact part of the glass where Andy's penis was. That plus, like, she's not pressing her bare skin against Tatiana, but she could. Like, that is completely, like, I mean, yeah, like, Tatiana's metal body. Like, Fuko could completely get naked and touch that body, and it would be fine. Like, how they could have such a good dynamic together. Okay. I mean, I guess also Tatiana just didn't know of the particulars then. Oh, I mean, it's not her full body, but we get to see at least the back of her. Oh man. A face full of boobs. Okay, damage. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I guess the big question then is, what does she like more? Is it that the penis worked her up, but the boobs cooled her down? Or is it the penis offended her, but the boobs brought her back down to normal? Because not every single negator's power is connected directly to, to fondness, like I thought. But I think that still has to be a trend of negator abilities. And so I think it has to be that, when Tatiana is filled with hatred, perhaps. Her powers, like, build to a point where it goes out of control. Normally, she's very negative, so, like, she's constantly emitting some level of dangerous negation. And then the reason why this actually worked, the reason why she calmed down after Fuko was nice to her is because, she is now becoming fond of Fuko. Slash, Fuko is someone she doesn't want to kill. Yeah. And it does fit the chapter title of, let me just go back, yeah, if we can have normal bodies. Like, neither of them have a normal body. Like, if they shake hands, it is going to be a robotic hand touching a gloved hand. If the day comes when we find ourselves free from negator powers and with normal bodies, let's go out together, hand in hand, okay? Yeah, I'm into it. This is a good ship. Like, regardless of what Tatiana looks like, I am sold on their dynamic together. Which is going to make everything on the ship a lot more impactful now. Like, I also do. I'm kind of critical when it comes to series, like, moving things out of order for no real reason. Like, especially, I used to not really care, but nowadays when a TV show, like, takes, just a segment and then brings it to the front and then, goes back to it later on in the episode, it does bother me. Like, if there's no purpose to it, it bothers me. But it can be done really well. Like, I think if we had seen this in chronological order, it wouldn't have been that good. I think it's interesting specifically because we got to go into the boat, we got to focus on, the infiltration and on the negator hunters, and now we get the emotional moments, as opposed to knowing from jump that Tatiana and Fuko are friends, or that, they like each other. There's a specific term that, I'm sorry, if I remember it, I'll say it. It's not a flash forward specifically. It is, like, specifically the story trope of cutting out a segment and then just moving that segment, but keeping the rest of the episode essentially the same. In media res is the closest, but it's not actually in media res. Yeah, the cold open doesn't go back. In media res, doesn't need to, it doesn't necessarily have to circle around. Uh, hmm. Okay. Those hand grenades are appearing out of thin air. I would assume that's more of a... What could it be? I mean, I don't think it has anything to do specifically with grenades. I think it has to be, like, not unmove, but, like, something related to, like, just objects. Like, I think what he is doing is just making objects appear, whether it is, like, they exist from somewhere else, or whether he is just generating them. Oh, unlimited. That'd be good. Oh boy, what's this? Huh. I mean, yeah, like, nothing else has cracked this armor in the slightest. I mean, it is also most likely unbreakable. Huh. I don't think we've gotten anyone's last names, right? I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like almost every character we've gotten in Undead Unluck has, like, just one name. Also, this feels less like a negator ability and more like something akin to what Victor did. Or, like, where where negation slash the Uma abilities just do not work on him inherently. I mean, I guess there could also be like some sort of hierarchy of negator abilities, but I don't know. I don't really like that idea. I like the idea of negator abilities all being exclusive, and then on top of that, you can, negate negator abilities through some ability we don't fully understand. Oh, Pep, good point, good point. Like, yeah, it was just forged then. Like, it is just extremely strong armor, but it isn't actually unbreakable armor. Hmm. Oh boy, we're gonna get a big ol' Buster Beam. I mean, I guess the question then is this like an energy attack, or is she going to use her ability? Hmm. I mean, unbreakable armor would not necessarily be good. Like, under the same principle of, the same reason why, full metal cars don't crumple up and get annihilated the way that modern cars do. But they do kill you. Like, the whole point of modern car technology is, allow anything to happen to the car as long as the person survives. So the car will absorb as much impact as physically possible. Like, a completely unbreakable shell would actually be a negative in terms of, like dampening the amount of energy that gets to Tatiana inside of it. Also, I am not prepared at all to speculate on how this would work, but there's the big question of, like, what if you kill move, but you don't kill stop? Like the Uma. Like, what if the concept of move no longer exists in the universe, but the concept of stop still exists? In spite of my body, she treated me just like anyone else. Ah. Okay, yeah, so she is using her ability. Also, I do like the idea of, coming all the way around from this chapter from, going berserk because she is losing her mind to now completely intentionally releasing her, her limiters and going nuts just, to protect Fuko. Hmm. Yeah, I'm really curious. The only thing I could think of would be untouch. There's gotta be other unwords, though. Like, of the initial ones, untradition, most likely not. Untranslate, no. Unruthful, or untruthful. I mean, that would just be untruth, which. Hmm. Untimeliness is. This is a word. Oh, untimeliness. Okay. I was. It was really messing up in my brain. Untenable, unthinkable, untoward. Untoward would be interesting. I mean, she has been kind of unfavorable. And that would be a nice contrast with the fact that, she tries to be very cutesy. Like, she enjoys her dolls and whatnot. Hmm. Due to the way that negators are, like, conjugated, though, untimely would not work, though. It would have to be written as untime. Like, even though those are two completely different things. Untenable. Untenable would actually kind of work if it is, like, when she exists in an area, she makes it impossible for you to live in that area. It doesn't, she can't, like, kill herself in this way. But, like, as long as she is within a physical area, then she can only make that area, like the inside of her container, unlivable. So then by removing by removing her existing container, she would then turn this entire room into an area you can't live in, which would then kill everyone. Yeah, Pep. Like, untouched makes the most sense. Untouchy. It vaguely works. Anyways, that's Undead Unluck. Boy, you can really tell that I have tons of pauses. I guess it is because I am processing what people write in chat. That is one of the main reasons why the streams tend to be so much longer than when I just do it by myself. Right. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, never mind. I thought I didn't rank Time Paradox, but yeah, I did. So Undead Unluck would go... Like, it was a good chapter, but it wasn't anything extremely special, so I'll put it below Time Paradox. So right now it's Roboco, Ghostwriter, Undead Unluck, Ghost Reaper Girl. Yeah, makes sense. Let's move on to... Chainsaw Man, at Chapter 78, Snowball Fights. See ya, Pep. Every time I see little cute baby Aki, it kills me inside. I mean, because the chapter is Snowball Fight, I imagine we're going to see a lot of him throughout this chapter, but I don't want to. I just want to see Gun Devil Aki kill everyone. Or not kill everyone. I just want to see him destroy things. It'll hurt so much less if I just get to see Gun Devil kill things and then Denji try to kill him. No, Saku, he do love play ball. He loved play ball has really come all the way around. Boy. You know, like, not all of Chainsaw Man makes me feel this, but, like, this specifically, and also last chapter with, the cuts between Aki, imagining the snowball fight and then, firing big blasts. It reminds me so much of early One Punch Man, like, the kinetic energy of early One Punch Man. Like, that feeling of reading the manga and, like, not wanting an anime adaptation because I could not imagine how animating it would be more animated than the manga. Like, there's so much motion just oozing from every single, like, transition. See, like, this is an image I can hear. The contrast between, like, the innocence of it is also what's really killing me. Because this is, like, not just being the Gun Devil, but this exact situation right here, this page. This is exactly what Aki would have hated to have happened. Like, this is what he wanted to prevent. This is why he wanted to kill the Gun Devil. Like, not just because he destroyed, the Gun Devil destroyed his family, but specifically because he didn't want this to happen again. And to have it contrasted with, like, to have it be that the reason why Aki is going to kill these people is, it's not because he hates them, it is because in his heart of hearts, he wants to play with them. It's too cruel. Novo, I have no doubt in my heart that Makima intentionally did this. I cannot for a second imagine that this is not part of her game plan. Like, even down to warning Denji and, like, the fact that she didn't immediately call Denji and say, like, way before Aki got there, like, hey, this is exactly what's about to happen. Or with, the fact that she didn't give him more information, the fact that she worded it so specifically, and that she only warned him like as the bell was ringing. Like, it's too set up, and she is control. There's no way that this was outside of her control. Yeah. Like, I think I said this last chapter, but I mean, to be fair, some of you guys may have not seen my reaction to last chapter. I do think this is 100%. I think that Makima she can't force Denji to say, "I give you all of me." Like, she doesn't have the ability to make him say it, but if he were to say it, I think she would be able to control him. So I think this is her serving up the Gun Devil on a platter, so that Denji can then say, "I killed the Gun Devil. I get to have my one request from you." Like, I think this is her manipulating everything to get into Denji's good graces, so that she can continue to manipulate him, or so that she can move one step forward in controlling him. Yeah. I mean, all we know for certain is that when every devil that the Bureau has, like, when all of them died, the last thing they remember hearing was the chainsaw. That, and also, Pochita had the gun wounds. It's very possible that Pochita killed the gun devil. Like, there's something there. Ah. Jeez. The wide-scale destruction is also really, like, again, this is what Aki did not want. If it was just, like, little gun attacks or something, it wouldn't feel that interesting. But this is such a clear visual parallel to when his house was annihilated, and we saw the above shot of just that whole area being absolutely wrecked. This is also just such a good, like, it does, like, I sorry, gotta collect my thoughts. I watch a lot of, very, like, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, very generic-ish hero stuff, like stuff where it is, like, heroes fighting monsters. And it always does feel weird whenever a monster just attacks humans for no real reason. Like, it's not a, I'm absorbing their souls, or, I need to attack them in order to get X thing. Like, when it's just a random, I guess I'm gonna attack these people for some reason. Like, that always weirds me out. And I think that this is the exact opposite. Like, knowing that the reason why Aki is attacking each of these people is explicitly because he, the most innocent part of his soul wants to just engage them in a happy thing, in a snowball fight, is really messing with me. Also, like, seeing Denji have to save people, like, seeing Denji freaking out and screaming at Aki to stop, and then seeing him, run in to save people, like, that's not what Denji does. Like, he's not a bad person, but he's not a hero. Like, or, he's not a traditional hero. He's not the guy who runs around saving normal people. Like, to see him being pushed to save people, like, it's not a bad thing, but it just shows how far Aki has fallen. Then in any other situation, like, Denji wouldn't need to save other people because most devils will just engage him directly, or they'll do big damage around the area, but he can, if he just keeps on attacking that devil, he is going to save them because most devils aren't just attacking random people for no reason. I wouldn't say so. Most of what he's done in terms of fighting has been, like, he's been going on specific missions. And for most of those missions, he's been attacked specifically. Or, like, he is usually the reason why all the violence is happening. And I mean, even in this situation, he is arguably the reason why the Gun Devil is here, why the Gun Devil is attacking. But there's usually not, like, a desire to bring more people into the fray, which is honestly really surprising. Like, you would think as a general thing that most devils, like, there's a good reason for most devils to randomly attack people, which would be to increase the amount of fear. Like, if you are a tomato devil, the smartest thing to do would be to attack a bunch of people and traumatize them and make them afraid of tomatoes, because then you would gain some level of strength. Like, the fact that devils don't do that either speaks very well of public safety, or it says that we don't fully understand what's going on with devils just yet. And yeah, Novo, like, that is, I think, the real coup de grace. That he's not doing it just to protect other random people, because he doesn't care about random people. Like, Denji is, to a point, like, fairly selfish. Like, he will help people. He's not evil or anything, but he doesn't need to go out and Spider-Man, because, like, there are other people who can do that. But right now, he's the only person who can save these people, and he's, like, trying to keep as much blood as possible off of Aki's hands. Ugh. Jeez. Oh my god, this page. Like, again, this is a page where I'm sure you could translate this into anime in a cool way, but I don't really want to. Like, the way it's playing in my head is a mix of animation, but also, like, just hard cuts in a way that you couldn't do in anime and have it look good. Like, it's this extreme cause and effect without needing to show, what actually happened, or without having to explain what happens in between. Like, it is just a hard... It's so hard. Yeah. I mean, I think it might be half, like, it's half them being stunned. I think it's also half them, like, being freaked out that something is stopping this guy. Like, this might be more, like, not just a Makima, getting Denji that easy kill so that he can then, like, fall more in love with him. I think it might also be Makima trying to make Denji more of a hero. Or, trying to give Denji some more publicity. Like, he's not just the one who is going to kill the Gun Devil. He is, like, there are people who are going to survive this, who are going to be screaming, this is the Chainsaw. Like, the Chainsaw Man saved me. Chainsaw Man killed the Gun Devil. God, Aki's smile is so freaky too. Like, knowing that it is an innocent smile just makes it so much worse. Yeah. I mean, I'm only on, like, volume 6 of Fire Punch, but even then, like, this has that cinematic Fire Punch energy. Or specifically, I don't want to spoil any Fire Punch specifically, but there's a really, really tragic stretch later on that really feels like it's a straight, like, it feels very parallel to what we're seeing with Aki here. Ah, and these cuts. What an absolute master of paneling. But now my life has finally gotten kind of fun. Oof. I mean, he's not down for the count. He is immortal, but still, that's a direct hit. I mean, that's that's Chainsaw Man. Yeah. The only other backup Denji has right now is power. Like, and I mean, there's a lot of blood hanging around. I could see Denji and Power teaming up to kill Aki. Like, that would be the ultimate, reversal for Power from, being so traumatized by, contact with the Darkness Devil to, like, being super duper cocky because she is the one who killed the gun. Like, I think either they're going to team up to kill Aki, slash, like, put him down, or she might just be the one who puts all the blood back in Denji, and then Denji finishes it off. Either way, like, I hope next chapter doesn't have more snowball fight, because I can't emotionally handle it. Oh my god. This was a perfect chapter. Like, it's got to go above Roboco. Jesus Christ. Yeah, because we don't see Power after, like after this point, right? Like, not even in the backgrounds. So, she could just be hiding, but I think we're past that point. Like, she has gone to the point where she will sneak out because Denji says, sneak out. Like, there is some level of loyalty here, especially because it is Aki and Denji together. Like, the two people in the world that she would, like, if she cares about anyone, she cares about these two. Even though we saw more bonding between her and Denji during her, period of being extremely traumatized. Like, Aki was around. He took them to his parents' graves. Like, I think that she has to, on some level, respect him. Especially for, up to this point, being a normal human. Well, that's Chainsaw Man. Let's move on. We gotta move on. My soul needs me to move on, so we're doing it. Next is Dr. Stone, chapter 156. Or sorry, Z equals 159. Yeah, it's like that. Whoops. Okay, so, moment of truth. What does Dr. Zeno say? Like, I assume it's going to be a, don't shoot. But I mean, it's possible he'll just absolutely commit to it. Z equals 159, lock on. Which, as we know, of course, if you say it in using a Japanese accent, you can also say it as rock on, which could be a reference to them turning back into stone. Or alternatively, them being very metal. I love the rocket hair, though. It's so cool. I love it, though. I mean, I think he looks really bad pre-stoning. Like, the scar is really necessary for his head to look good. Especially once you realize that it isn't two separate X scars on his head. It is a 3D X. Like, that plus the rocket hair, it's good. I love it. It's really strong. With just his voice, I can estimate his height. Really? Also, I mean, the fact that he's not saying don't shoot means that I guess he wants to shoot. I will say, Dr. Zeno's design is, like, of all the designs we've seen in this arc, it's definitely the one that seems to flip-flop the most between being, like, what I think is good and what I think is bad. Like, it's very variable. Whereas a design like Senku, for instance, like, even when Senku's a bit off-model, like, especially in the current art style, I think he generally looks really good. Like, even if Boichi kind of makes him do a wonky face or a wonky perspective, generally it's hard to mess up Senku apart from just giving him the giant forehead. But yeah, like this is a rough Xeno. Or sorry, this is a pretty rough Xeno. This is a nah Xeno. I think the claws have. I mean, first of all, he is picking up one of the records with his claws. But, like, they're so chipped at the ends, too. So it can't be precision work. It can't be, like, they can't be keys or anything, right? Like, they're so clearly worn at the tips. Whereas if they were meant for very precision stuff, I imagine they would look immaculate. Like, the rest, like, along the side, they might be all chipped and scarred and stuff. But I imagine that if the tips were for precision work, the tips would have to be perfect looking. Also, this is wild as hell. With Luna as my handy yardstick, it's a cinch to tell how tall they are. Which one of these is Senku? I really like the idea of one of the random ICP members being shot in the head because, like, using all the available logic, Stan makes the decision of, this guy is definitely Senku. I mean, you'd think that Xena would mention Senku's hairstyle. Like, sure, it is the future. It's completely possible that Senku would have changed his hair, but, like, the moss in his hair specifically, like, that's so distinctive. He should have said, like, hey, look at their hair colors. But I guess it is, like, less foolproof to focus on just the height. Like, that is what Xeno can 100% say, like, this is definitely correct. Whereas, like, the hair, like, it's completely possible that Senku could have just invented hair dye and then dyed everyone's hair. Why? I really do like this, this slow mental change of, don't look this way, you'll give away my position. And then he goes for it, but why? Oh, that does make sense. Yeah, like, of the three, which ones are going to be following Luna's gaze? I really, really love this panel. It's so good. Now, here's the question. How does Senku outthink the bullets? I mean, it's a classic TF2 problem. How do you outsmart the bullets? Also, Novo, yeah. Stanley's got those extremely kissable lips. Boy. It's the classic genius problem of, you can't do the smartest possible thing, because if you do the smartest possible thing, then the smart guy will know exactly what you're doing. And this is good. Like, clearly, like, Xena would not have given the height without saying, don't kill him if he didn't want Senku to die. But I am glad that we are clearing it up. So we can't, like, as readers, we can't go, oh, but maybe Dr. Xeno didn't want Stanley to shoot Xeno, or didn't want him to shoot Senku. I mean, I'm still sticking with my general theory of, like, Senku is very evil genius, Dr. Xeno is also very evil genius, so they could coexist. It would be fine. Like, Senku would be completely fine with letting Xeno rule all of America. But I do appreciate that, like, it shows that they do know each other, to see that Xeno looks at this and goes, yeah, Senku's not gonna like it. Like, he would not accept it, so I gotta kill him. And I do think, like, that also shows how tight the bond between Stanley and Xeno are. Like, sorry, the bond is. Like, to know, like, for Stanley to know for sure, like, I cannot just shoot this kid. I know that Xeno is going to have, like, a moment or two of concern. Like, I need to make certain that this is what he really wants. It makes me really care about... Oh my god. I mean, a little hesitation, but he is being completely definitive. He's just saying, yeah, go for it. Alright, here we go. Oh, such a good such a good use of 4 pages. Like, I appreciate they both got a 2-page spread, and Stanley's is so full of, full of detail, full of energy, whereas Xeno gets to be, the one who calls the shots. He has the very simple backgrounds. It's such a good contrast. I've been talking a lot recently, I guess because I am back at work again, like, I've been talking a lot about whether manga makes my eyes hurt, and I really appreciate that, for how detailed Boichi's art style is. In Dr. Stone, he tends to know how to, how to fill out the chapter in a way that doesn't make your eyes bleed. I mean, homie, white is a background. I've read Bleach. I know the glory of a background where you don't draw the backgrounds. I like it. It's good. But alright, now we see Senku outsmart the bullets. Or I guess Senku dies. That's also possible. I'm gonna bet against it, but still. Okay. Oh, he's making a non-Newtonian fluid. Yeah. And yeah, the main problem with this design is, like, from what I understand at the very least, is that a normal bulletproof vest is... It's better in the sense that it's more consistent. Like, in order to make something like this, like, a liquid where as soon as the bullet touches it, it immediately becomes ultra hard. Like, the main problem with that is it needs to disperse the energy. Like, it doesn't help if the entire vest becomes super duper hard and then the power of the bullet, still destroys you. Or it still, makes all of it hard, but then it still punches through one part of it. But this is like a massive, massive bag of non-Newtonian fluid. Ooh, okay. Also, the bullet, it has shattered before it's going to hit Senku. So a bunch of that energy is already dissipated. I really appreciate that, by the way. It's so rare to see any fiction where a bullet goes through something and then the shrapnel, we follow the shrapnel and the shrapnel kills someone or it hurts someone. Like, usually, if a bullet punches through something, it is punching through it. Like, the whole bullet is still there. Yeah, that's blood. Oof. So, I mean, I've got to imagine this was enough for Senku to not die. But I think this might also be Senku pulling, ending up out of commission. Ah, oobleck. Okay, thanks, Novo. I was trying to come up with a word that wasn't just non-Newtonian fluid or custard. Oh no! Rondom, no! I'm so scared for, like, if the rest of the series is Dr. Taiju, oh boy, this is gonna be a real bad series. But yeah, I appreciate the coalition of things that, like, resulted in this. Like, if Xeno didn't hesitate, if Stanley didn't also hesitate and, double check to make sure Xeno wanted to really do this, like, if Senku hadn't, we don't know what he chose. Like, was it potato starch? Was it the stuff they used for the soft serve? Like, if that hadn't been there, if he hadn't been able to put it together, and even then, like, he just barely managed to, put it together before the shrapnel hit him. Like, it's such a confluence of things that, had to happen exactly like this for him to have a sliver of a chance of surviving. I'm really happy with that, as opposed to a, like, oh, well, clearly he could have done this at any time, so he's basically invincible. Like, this keeps bullets scary. Like, it is the perfect medium of, Senku did outsmarts some level of the bullets, but you can't brain your way through the bullet entirely. Like, you're still gonna take damage. But yeah, I do think also Stanley and Zeno have a very Senku Taiju energy to them. Like, not exactly the same, obviously, but they have a good, like, the person who can get it done, and the person who has it all up there in theory, and he is the one who, he has the big game plan. Like, they have a similar energy without being too similar. Like, without it feeling derivative or anything. Ah, true. Like, yeah, Senku did just cover, his organs, which makes the most sense. Like, that is the area that is most likely to be hit. But at the same time, yeah, could have just blown his brains out. That's a good Dr. Stone. Where to put Dr. Stone? I'm gonna put it above Roboco. Like, the art was perfect, the tenseness was perfect, and, like, the series handled the threat of this bullet so well. Like, it was the perfect Dr. Stone, like, answer to the sniper. And, like, the fact that I am invested in both sides at this point makes it so much better than if it was just Mysterious Smart Man and Mysterious Gunman versus Senku. I mean, true. And to be fair, like, it was the two of them. Like, it was Senku figuring out the best possible place to, to be so that he wouldn't get shot, and trusting that Stanley would also figure out the best possible place in the ship, even though he cannot see inside the ship. Like, it is a combination of genius. It is the... Like, it is the, we brought up, like, 2 chapters ago. Why can't I not say this? Like, it's the concept of fate, but as applied through science. It is the idea of, because science is repeatable, there is a level of faith you can then have in it. Because it will work out like this. If 2 people have the exact same information, they will come to the exact same results. Anyways, that's Dr. Stone. We got one more thing, then the live stream ends. Then we go to the pre-recordeds, which you guys don't get to see. I mean, I guess you could. I guess I could just leave it on, but... Oh boy, what time is it? Yeah, it's getting a little late. I think I'm going to just record the pre-recorded some other time, or I might take a break or something. So, before all that, we got one more series. I'm getting too ahead of myself. We still have to read. My Hero Academia, chapter 278. Can't calm down now. I gotta actually read the manga. Jiro Jack. It's a... Oh boy, it's Gigantomachia time. It's big kaiju fights time. I mean, of the characters right here, like, who could possibly go up against Gigantomachia? I mean... I guess Sugar Man, if he consumes enough sugar, assuming that his strength is unlimited, like, or, assuming that it is predicated entirely on the amount of sugar he consumes. Kirishima has history. Oh my god, you're right. Oh, like, if we're going to, go all the way back to Gigantomachia and Kirishima, like, now would be the time. Whether or not it is a, hey, Kirishima then electrocutes everyone and they're all knocked out, and then he lets Gigantomachia go by. Or whether it is an actual, Or wait, no, I'm thinking of Kaminari, not... Sorry, I was thinking of Kaminari, but I was thinking of Kirishima at the same time. Like, Kirishima's the one who has the history with Gigantomachia. Yeah, true. I mean, they both do. So, I'm going to lose my mind if Kirishima looks at Gigantomachia and says, "I can't let you go past, Grandpa." You know, also manga fan, you're not wrong. Shroom Girl has an extremely slept-on ability. Like, we've seen the danger of the mushrooms. Number 278, Disaster Walker. Oh, that's a good title. I mean, Mound Lady is the initial defense, but there's no way she's going to be able to stop him. Like, even if she gets in a good judo throw, like, that's all I can see. I could see her using his momentum against him. But even then, like, there's no way. Oh, and the league's, like, riding him. Okay. Yeah, it's Propaganda Man. Huh. It's so insane to see the scale of it. Like, to see all of them on top of a Gigantomachia, and to see, like, how completely impossible it is to notice them. Like, yeah, if you really, really look, you can figure it out, but he's so massive that they are a rounding error. They are essentially just, like, random rubble on top. You can barely tell if they're people. Ah... God, Cementos is so cool! This is wild. I mean, I feel like we've been too focused on, how unbelievably powerful Shigaraki is, and then on, like Gigantomachia's awakening, but now it's starting to really feel like a war. Yeah, this feels like Marineford, honestly. I mean, I don't know, Novo. Like, yeah, sure, you can cover a punch with paper, but I feel like you can also rip paper apart pretty easily. Slash, like, there's whatever his hate goo is. Like, if you cover a headshot in hate goo, I think he might melt. Oof. Oh, he just tossed her aside with one arm. Ooh, Kamui Wood's not... yeah, this must be pretty hard to look at. Jeez, I do respect Mount Lady so much, though. Like, she's never the one who, like, she never dominates a fight. But at the same time, like, she always gives it 110%. Like, she is plus ultra. Like, it's really that combination of, like, she's not even a Moomin rider in the situation, in the sense of, like, it's not like she's not powerful. She is very powerful. It's just the only times we ever get to see her are when she's being annihilated. Like, whenever there's a threat that is too big for her. I think some people would, find that to be a detriment against her. Like, oh, it sucks that this character always shows up and she gets thrashed. But I find that extremely respectable. Like, that is what a hero does. A hero, some heroes do just show up and dominate, sure. Like, that is the All Might appeal. But I find it so much more rootable to see a hero who, continues to, go in and they can win. Like, they're not foolhardy. They do keep on trying, but they just manage not, they don't succeed time and time again. Or they always play a supporting role. There's something very, like, realistically heroic about it. It's like being a firefighter. I mean, it's not too often to see a female character that shows up in Chapter 1 continue to be this good. Like, Mount Lady could be the Sakura of pro heroes, but she isn't. She is, like, every time I see her, I'm always excited to see her do stuff. And she always deserves to be around. I hope she doesn't have the big brain damage. Ooh, And speaking of female characters, okay. I mean, yeah. Like, if you can't, like, take out Gigantomachia with raw power, then yeah, knocking him out would be a really good way to stop him. I guess the big question would then be, like, does he need to breathe? That's the only counter I could really see. But I could, like, because he is All For One's bodyguard, I could see All For One having, given him some sort of no needy to breathy quirk. Sorry, I know it's not exactly comical. This is a scary situation. But I love the idea of Midnight, like Spider-Manning up to Gigantomachia and then just casually seeing the League and going like, "Oh, the League's on his back." Yeah, that is the troll face. But yeah, Mount Lady really needs, if not a helmet that grows with her, at the very least, she's really gotta, like, put her hands above her head or something. I mean, to be fair, she has an outfit that grows with her, so... but then again, like, we don't want her to have just, a mask. Like, she's got, a thing she wears over her face. What we want is, something that protects her head, which might be kind of difficult. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, okay, never mind. Those are compresses balls. I didn't even see the balls on the previous panel, so I was pretty freaked out. What quirk could possibly stop him? I mean, we haven't ruled out knocking him out. It's just, you gotta also, I guess, knock out the entire league at the same time. Which should be possible. I mean, the only person here who wouldn't be affected by Somnambulist is Toga. Like, everyone else on Gigantomachia's back is male, and we know that Somnambulist works best on men. I mean, I guess that also brings up the question of, like, is Gigantomachia male or female? We don't know. I mean, they've called him male before, but, like, considering how mutated he is at this point, it's possible that he could also just be both. Or, not even either. I mean, first of all, yes, good Davi face, but also, I mean, what could Yaoyorozu create in order to make this work? Like, it can't be something indestructible, because, like, it seems like, I mean, it is the classic Marvel Juggernaut problem. Like, how do you stop something that will not stop moving? Usually it is you redirect him, or you knock him out, or you take his helmet off and then shoot psychic energy into his brain. Okay, since brute force won't stop him, put him to sleep. Okay, so we are still going with the midnight plan of knock him out. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess Yaoyorozu could just make, like, fentanyl. Or, like, something even stronger than the fentanyl. Like, but, like, essentially just create a ton of the strongest opioid in existence and pound it into him. Like, he is a living creature. He is organic. So if you pump enough opioids into him, he will be knocked out. I mean, doing one big negative but swapping the genders doesn't make, it doesn't make it right. But at the same time, a bunch of ladies chloroforming an unstoppable man doesn't feel like the worst. Like, in the same way that I felt pretty weird, I felt kind of off-put by various things in, Ghost Reaper Girl, but then the series justified it. And, like, it makes sense in terms of what they're trying to say and, the greater themes of the series. In the same way, like, I'm not, like, I'd feel a lot weirder about this if it was a, we have to chloroform Mount Lady. I mean, I don't watch S.H.I.E.L.D. at all, but from what I understand, S.H.I.E.L.D. talks a lot about war crimes with superpowered people, so we might be getting into that here. I guess it's a real just you gotta commit the war crime and then be punished for it afterwards. Hmm. Interesting panel here. But okay, so yeah, like Midnight is leaving it up to Yairozu. I could see some really rough political allegory coming up later on with, like dudes saying, "Hey, I roofied this girl, but it's fine because, of course, the creating hero, Creati, knocked out Gigantomachia using super roofies. So clearly it's okay to just do that, but, shrunk down, right? What are women at a bar if not just small Gigantomachias?" But yeah, like, I mean, it is a rough situation. I'm curious to see how we're going to deal with this going forward. Like, I'm not one to say, do the extremely illegal bad thing because you gotta. Like, usually if something is extremely bad and illegal and a war crime, it's like that for a reason, because you shouldn't do it. But in this situation, like, I mean, it is the constant push and pull of this is not okay. While we are sober as human beings, we create these laws that clearly state this is a bad, don't do it. But then you end up in a situation where it feels like the only thing that will work. Or alternatively, like there are other things to do, but in a heated situation like this, it's really hard to calm down and say, well, we don't have to roofie Gigantomachia. I guess we could just, teleport him into space using this combination of 20 quirks from 20 people that are okay, that are around. It's just we would have to coldly, logically pull them all together and then execute their abilities exactly in this precise way without any prior training. It is also real weird that, I mean, and this is also pulling a little vigilante stuff in it, but it feels really weird that, Midnight is not allowed to wear skimpier outfits, but she is allowed to chloroform people constantly. Like, it's a weird place to draw that line. I mean, true. That is the other thing, like, Somnambulist doesn't kill people, whereas the main problem with, shooting a ton of fentanyl into criminals is you're gonna kill them. Like, we don't know Gigantomachia's tolerances. Okay, so distance and ETA based on sound plus the giant's heights. Oh, and she's still holding on. Oh my god. Mount Lady. Jeez. I can't, like... Oh, Cowie Woods is the one, like, on top of her. I could barely tell that was him because of how shaded he is right there. But jeez. Oh. In all our lessons, we were never taught to turn our backs to the enemy. Alright, that is My Hero Chapter 278. I mean, I am a big fan of, big team-up fights, which we honestly have not gotten very many of in My Hero. Like, as weird as that is, like, considering how big the ensemble cast is, we still very rarely see people teaming up to do things together. Which, I mean, I'm not saying that's a negative against the series as a whole, but just, it does feel very strange that that is not a thing that the series is known for. Like, if I had known nothing else about My Hero as a whole, I would have assumed it would be more like Black Clover in terms of the number of team-ups that we would have, or the number of, just people using abilities synergistically. But that's rarely ever the case. So I guess I'm going to stick with my current prediction of she's gonna just roofie him slash, shoot a bunch of fentanyl into his bloodstream. And I think everyone else is, what everyone else is doing is just, get it into his body slash slow him down. Alright, that is My Hero. My phone died, so let me just check to see what everyone's saying. Yeah. Fantastic chapter. So I think Chainsaw Man and Dr. Stone were better. Can I say that me and Roboco is better than this chapter? I mean, we did get to see a bunch of, I think just for the breath of fresh air that it was, the fact that this did feel like Marineford, it isn't just, bad things are happening, but also we're not going to see them. We're just going to see a bunch of other random people doing things. The fact that we are really playing up the communal danger it's nice. I like it. And this does feel like it is going to be a little mini arc featuring members of the cast that we usually don't look at all working together. Yeah, Yorozu gets a moment to shine. Yeah. I think at the very least it does handily beat me and Roboco. Which, depending on whether you like me and Roboco or not, that is either good praise or that is extremely insulting. One of the two. Anyways, those are the live stream series. I didn't do all the pre-recordeds. Those are now going to be post-recordeds. So I'll just paste the current rankings, and I guess you'll just have to go watch the video on YouTube if you want to see everything else. I mean, we still have not seen an upper limit for Minetta's balls, so yeah, I could see Minetta really coming in clutch here. Novo, next time you're not allowed to post any more spoilers. They're too powerful. I mean, you didn't get Dr. Stone, though. So there was a tiny reason to watch, but not that much. Thank you all for watching. I guess I will just keep on reading. So, I don't know if any of you actually watch any of the other series I do, but I'm just gonna slide into the others. Let's see, you've got Actage, Black Clover, and Bone Collection. Interesting trio to do at the very end. See a damage. I can't do author comments because I haven't read everything I'm going to read. The last time I did author comments without reading everything else, I don't remember which series it was, but one of them, I want to say it was Black Clover, made a reference to the chapter, and I said, oh man, this sucks. I really should have read the chapter beforehand. But alright, I'm going to do Actage, then I'm doing Black Clover, so... Also, these tend to go by pretty quickly, so if you want to dip out for a sec, Novo, feel free. Next, we've got Actage, Chapter 121. Of course, Zaku, you can also dip out for a sec. I should actually write down, these the way I used to. So, we've come into the, this is, of course, the 3 girls all playing 1 girl arc. Okay, first, knowing yourself. Very zen of Yanagi to say. Also, I didn't bring this up during, what was the... I can never remember the name of the series, Ghost Reaper Girl. But that shot of the girl with the energy drink or the whatever drink, like the big billboard, it felt a lot like a reference to Actage, just in the sense of the whole arc we had previously with Yanagi drinking the share water, but it didn't say share on it, so I think it was just a coincidence. Genius actor Satsuki Maino. Cute. A rare beauty who appears once every 10,000 years. She's smart too and has the best grades in her class. Not a chrysalis, a butterfly. Cute. I mean, for a person who tries to, who doesn't like it when people call her cute, it is pretty powerful that she is just saying, yeah, I'm cute, cute. I guess that is because she is trying to get across, like, what people think about her. And, like, she did cross out the child, so, yeah. This is also a lot to do for, again, like, an actress who only appears in the first episode, but the first episode of the drama they're doing. But at the same time, I think this is extremely important. Like, Satsuki is she is the person that they are going to base both of their performances on. Yeah, I do. I think Yanagi's right. Like, she wants, like, before she can try to fall in love with acting, or before she can put herself in the mindset of someone who cares, like, she has to understand herself. She does have a very shallow view of herself. Plus, I think this is just good for Satsuki as a person. Like, she is going to become a much better actress after doing all of this work once. This is so interesting. Like, I was completely ready for Ren to be an absolute troll in this arc, so it feels really wild for Ren and Yanagi to both be trolls, or like they're both trolling Satsuki. Like, they are both the ones who know what's going on, whereas Satsuki is the fish out of water. I was so ready for that to be Yanagi for this whole arc. But yeah, and that is genuinely really good. Like, in the same way that she does say, I'm not cute, and she gets mad about it. But at the same time, if told to write down things about herself, she will write down cute twice. Like, in the same way, she doesn't want to say that she's image conscious, but she is. Like, you do need that outward perspective. Otherwise, like, she can't play, like, such a different role from herself if she doesn't understand herself. Otherwise, she will fall into the trap of just playing the same character all the time, or being a child actress who plays who is playing an older child, but she acts like a modern child. Interesting line. I don't like caterpillars. Chrysalises are okay, and I like butterflies. Like, for the girl who is, who's considered by everyone to be the chrysalis. Like, I think that's a good way of putting it. Like, it might not even be that she likes being the chrysalis. It's that, she wants to be the butterfly, and she hates the idea of people thinking of her as a caterpillar. Like, of her not even getting to the point of evolving. Like, that's also why she always crosses out the child. Like, she doesn't want to be a child. She doesn't want to be a caterpillar. What was the point of all this? This feels like a chapter that's also, like, metatextually telling the editor of Actage, like, hey, this is why I, the mangaka, am doing dumb things. Like, that's why I took this business trip and didn't actually, like, write anything down. It's important. I was learning about myself. But yeah, it does make sense. Like, the more she sees how she's completely unlike Manami, like, you can't grow closer to Manami if you don't know yourself. Like, unless you... How do I put it? Like, you can't jump across the Grand Canyon, right? but you can jump across a crack in the sidewalk. But unless you understand the perspective, like, how can you tell whether the thing in front of you is the Grand Canyon or a crack in the sidewalk? They are both fundamentally the same thing unless you properly understand the depth of it and the width of it. Right, Satsuki bites when she's angry. Such a rare little moment of her, like, being honest. Like, she also has walls up all the time, which I think also makes it hard for her to see herself. Like, she tries so hard to make sure no one thinks of her as a child that she also can't see herself as a child. Like, she's definitely, protecting her own vision of herself at the same time as she's protecting everyone else's vision of her. Huh. Also, this is such a cool way to tie it into the school arc. Like, it is Yanagi, making use of everything she's gone through. Ah, so cute. I know you hate it when people think you're cute when you're not acting, but I think it's unavoidable. You're cute even when you don't try, Satsuki. You've been acting since you were little, so it's hard for you not to perform. Is that what we're trying to get to? Like, are we trying to get to a point of, like, normal children aren't always acting cute all the time, so if she's going to act like a old school child, she has to break that open. Like, she has to stop acting cute all the time. This is also such a cool situation for the two of them to be in. Like, Yanagi is essentially saying, you admire me, but she doesn't know what Satsuki was looking at when she had that face of admiration. But that is good. Like, if Yanagi knew what Satsuki was looking at, she wouldn't have had the balls to say, you admire me. But by saying, you admire whatever you're looking at here, it's perfect. Status and era don't even matter. In every society, there's something children share. The ability to respond to the world with laughter, anger, or tears. It's an ability we lose as we become adults. Through Satsuki, I'll become a Nami too. Oh, such a good chapter! Like, I was so ready to not hate Satsuki, but to just, be very neutral with Satsuki. I didn't really care that much about her, but I can't lie. I am growing, like, more and more fond of her over time. I'm gonna put it above Roboco. Maybe above My Hero, but I think Roboco makes sense. Because, yeah, like, I mean, I like Undead Unluck, I like Time Paradox. But this was such a good, just, focus on one character who was not a main character, who was very recently introduced. Like, and it's such a fresh perspective. Like, Yanagi was never a child actor. We haven't seen much about child actors. And I really love that we are using Satsuki to, to learn about child actors as a whole. Alright, so that is Actage. I'm gonna move on to Black Clover, Chapter 258, A Captain's Duty. What do I want to say? I guess just, I'm really excited to see some sick combo moves, but specifically, like, I'm so curious to see what the art's going to look like here, because we have, I can never remember his name, but, Kingman, who has the classic devil design of pure flat black, and then very high levels of detail on the crown, on the arms. Like, I really appreciate Yuki Tabata's designs when they are, like, when they have the flat black and then the extreme detail in parts of it. Asta's half-demon form also is, lots of flat black, but with tons of detail. And then Yami is not demon-aligned at all, but his style is usually just big, pure black energy slashes. So, like, if this were Bleach, I imagine half of this chapter would be pure black, no texture. I don't think Yuki Tabata has the the insanity necessary to pull something like that off. But I'm excited to see how this is gonna look. I mean, I guess the plan is right now just and try to cut him up, but it doesn't seem like that's working out quite well. I do appreciate the balls on Yuki Tabata to be able to do all of this without any sound or special or sound effects. I guess the other big question is like how do you do lasting damage? Like presumably only Asta can do lasting damage. Like this is another big destroy the whole body thrust, but it ain't doing anything lasting. I suppose there's the question of like, can they just can this be a battle of attrition? Can they just make him waste all of his demon magic? But it seems like the devils are more or less full of infinite amounts of magic. Like they never seem to get tired. I think I said last chapter that I'm fairly sure this is going to end with Yami slamming Asta's sword into him. But I don't know how that would work. Because, I mean, I guess it depends on whether Yami's, whether his swordsmanship is pure swordsmanship or not. Because all of his attacks are assisted with darkness magic. But you'd think that, if his swordsmanship is, extremely good, he should be able to just use Asta's sword. Like, it shouldn't stop being anti-magic. Okay. Is Asta going all in? Or, I mean, not all in, but, are we getting something equivalent to the, Naruto going, what was it again? Was it 4 tails or what was it 5 tails? When he first started using the big old Biju bombs. It was, yeah, okay, right, 4 tails. That was also when his, skin was disintegrating. I can't do it as things stand, though. I need something suitable in exchange. So how will this actually manifest, though? Is Asta going to really lose something? Or is this just going to be an aesthetic thing? I want it to be a sacrifice. Yeah, Black Clover's been, really pacing itself with Asta's, power-ups, quote-unquote. The Devil's always been there, but, he gained half-devil power, at some point. I want to say, within the hundreds or so, around there, and he hasn't really escalated since. It's been pretty stable. I mean, I think that's also part of the series just being very good at, focusing on teamwork as opposed to individual acceleration. Asta and Yuno are still extremely powerful. They're pretty broken as characters. But there's still tons of people on their level. And most of the real big bads don't die due to one-on-one fights, or even, group fights that turn into one-on-one fights. It tends to be a group fight throughout. Which I think is just, a good way to balance things. It also makes the power of friendship, matter. No matter what I have to do, I need to surpass my limits. Yeah, I mean... Zaku. There's definitely much cooler, art pieces in Black Clover, but I do think the Inner Devil is pretty dope. Oh boy, what is this going to look like? I'm hoping that Asta ends up looking sort of like, our big enemy over here, whose name I can never remember. I don't want it to be a more heroic look. I do want it to be, devilly. We have a very clear idea of what it looks like when you have, more than half of a devil's energy in you. And I want Asta to stay consistent with that. So, this is the way he usually looks. I guess the arm might be slightly different. Yeah, because the arm has, actual claws on it now. But, this isn't as extreme a visual change as I was hoping for. Not gonna lie, pretty unimpressed. Like, this might just be, the start of it, and the next chapter will get really cool. But this is pretty average. I'm gonna slap this. I mean, it's not the bottom. It's certainly not the bottom, but uh, it's below Undead Unluck. Like, this was a good chapter of Undead Unluck, so yeah, I think that's fine. Now, time for our final series, the climactic Bone Collection, Chapter 12. Bone Collection, Chapter 12. See, I like Bone Collection a lot as a transition from the pre-recordeds into the live stream, but as a, ending of the entire thing, it's a little wild. Chapter 12, I can't believe it. So, last chapter, I mean, we've got the QB here. We have, last chapter ended in this really weird, like, climactic, they didn't know what would happen. Their life or death battle nears as they find their missions are strangely intertwined. So, how is this going down? It is a good clickbait title. So, this is a little less climactic than I anticipated. It's a lot screwing around. But I mean, that's kind of just their dynamic right now. When I told you to get lovey-dovey, I meant it figuratively. The big head lumps are so concerning. Like, you can only have so many lumps on your head before, that's gotta be liquid and skin, right? Like, that's gotta be sucking all of the liquid out of their bodies. But yeah, we kind of touched on this before. Like, they need to be more in sync. Otherwise, like, even though Pyra is unbelievably powerful, like, the amount they suck out isn't that good. Like, even if it's, an enormous amount of energy, they can't make use of it properly. The yokai spell is contingent on trust. The more the human yokai's interests align, the bigger the spiritual energy. Okay. And I imagine, like, with Runa, making the most out of their energy also is important because presumably they don't want Runa to become a human being. Like, Pyra's fine with using up all of her energy in order to become fully human, but presumably the two of them want to make the most out of that energy and preserve some amount of it so she doesn't become a person. Ah, yeah. I mean, it's a classic. I mean, clearly they are unaligned. I guess it has to be, they either have to find a mutual goal or one of them has to fold. I mean, Cosme does not want to marry Pyra, so that's kind of out. And Pyra couldn't care less about Cosme becoming an Exorcist King, so, again, it has to be something selfless. It has to be protecting people or protecting yokai or something like that. Okay. Also, the typesetting isn't, super special or anything, but I do like it. And I do like just the general aesthetic of the, I mean, first of all, this is just good for edits. Fantastic edit material. I mean, I would say that's a part of, normal human interaction. I think you could boil down a lot of human conflict to your motivations are too interesting, come up with something more boring you can agree on. I mean, I feel like a big part of politics is, having extremely nuanced concepts and then dumbing them down and making concessions until you agree on something vaguely supporting both of your ideals, but not really. Okay, so she does want to become human, actually. Okay, that's some neat typesetting. Oh, is Kazumi growing? Is he looking at this girl who has said consistently, I like you and I want to marry you? And is he now actually considering the idea of treating her like a person who wants to have a relationship with him? See, this is a situation where, like, I wasn't upset with him before because she's been completely bonkers insane. Like, she has been punching him in the face and screaming, I want to become human, I want to marry you, pull magic out of me and make a Nintendo Switch so you can make a clone of me that will beat up your best friends. Like, she hasn't been very clear or consistent at all. So I do think, like, if the two of them, like, this is a big step towards them actually finding something they have in common. Huh. There are over 50 taking part, plus 2 of the 4 Exorcist Kings. Interesting that Shishino's entire group also has eye patches. Like, I wonder if they're all making contracts with some sort of demon or something. I mean, it could also just be that they want him to feel okay, so they all wear eye patches even though they don't need them. Hmm. Okay. Now, is this a preemptive attack, or are we just screwing around? I mean, if you look over to the side, like, something splashed into the water over here, so... Hmm. Okay. I guess he just showed up. It's a real so anyways I started blasting situation. He's so casual. Also, we did describe Runa as having a fox spirit in her, but is it part of his body, perhaps? I guess that would explain why they have such a clear connection. Like, before it was explained as she has a fox spirit, and the QB is, like the master of all fox spirits, so you beat him, then the one inside of her would also leave. Huh. Oh boy. I mean, this moment's really going to determine, are the Exorcist Kings interesting? Like, are they worth, considering really cool, or are they going to job real hard? Okay, that's respectable. Yeah, that's pretty respectable. God, the punch right in the face is so satisfying. Hmm. I guess he's doing the big skedaddle there. I guess that's what that's supposed to be. Hmm. Ha, if he pulls out the tail by force... Oh, is she gonna, like, explode? She'll die. Hmm. Alright, I mean... It's not a long-term solution. But yeah, like, at the very least, they can align on one thing. Which is also what happened in the previous mission. Like, anytime they're on a mission, usually they can, like... They don't take missions that are morally questionable. So it is usually something they can, in the moment agree upon. I guess that's fine for now, but we are, like, setting up this important, like, we are setting up the main problem of they're gonna have to learn to, like, find something that actually means something to both of them. Like, they need an ongoing thing. It is indeed a good week to rip off Soul Eater. But I mean, yeah, I do think that your point makes sense. I think that it's an instance of Lolly is the most, like, it is the design that most weebs will immediately gravitate towards. Like, if you're going to put any design in your series, the best one to do that will, 100% create a character that is marketable, create a character that people will like, it is always Lolly design. So it does make sense to default towards, if something has a true form, make it a Lolly. Well, that is Bone Collection. Not one of my favorite chapters. Like, generally I'm into the series. And I do still have high hopes for this. Oh no, I replaced it. I do have high hopes for this arc, but I'm not feeling too hot about it. I'd say this goes below Black Clover. I do feel bad a lot of weeks when I do the pre-recordeds and they trend down a lot, and then I go like, well, it's just because I have recency bias towards all the new ones. It is nice to mix it up sometimes to see that, yeah, like, I like Black Clover, I like Bone Collection, but even after reading everything else in Jump, they're still trending towards the bottom. Like, they're enjoyable, but they're not on the same level as a lot of the other series I read. Anyways, let's read those author comments and get out of here. What was that voice? Oh, let's read Ruby, the official manga, together. Oh, boy. Boy, I mean, the previous Ruby manga was better than this one, so it feels weird to call this one the official manga. I don't find this aesthetic good. It feels so unfinished. And also too bright. It's so bright. Ooh, maybe we're gonna get some cool line stickers for One Piece that I can then put into Telegram and then use with no one because I don't have friends on Telegram.
I guess that explains the cover.
I guess so, yeah. Now, what are the emotions that correspond to some of these? Because, yeah, like, I can see a lot of these being stickers. I mean, I guess these are also cheating because they have text on them.
That feel when you don't bleed.
Holding myself. Full of food. Go West. That feel when you at work but you just feel like a little pigeon inside. Falling in poop. This one, I guess, is being dank. Yes.
The chopper's horns say okay.
Oh, they do say okay. Okay. I didn't notice that at all. Now, what vibe is this chopper?
That's a cool post, bro.
Because we got the big chain, classic chopper look. Got the fat Chungus Doflamingo. A lot of energy here.
The privilege is stored in the neck.
Oh no! Oh, that's why it's time for guillotines.
Yeah, of course.
Such a casual way to go out. Or not casual, but like, I'm glad that it's not a super long drawn out one. It is just I was lucky. See ya. Knock tan 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 tan. Oh boy. I shall celebrate all the amazing series that are concluding and protect the seats of all the manga creators until they make their return.
Boichi the no new friends.
Boichi is the dog at the grave waiting for his owner to come back, except his owner is everyone in Jump. I was glad I was able to do Battle and Jump with Furodate-san. Congratulations on the conclusion of Haikyuu. Being in Jeff for Koji Kami's return was my goal. Congratulations, Furodate-sensei. Did Koji Kami come back?
I guess he came back and everybody's congratulating him instead of IQ ending.
I totally forgot to draw the lines on the faces of the Robocos in the stands for the title page. What are those lines? I mean, most of them are copy-pasted as well, so he really just needed to draw like one or two. Like, where's this Roboco?
It's chapter 3!
Yeah, none of the... I mean, I guess these ones aren't copy-pasted. These ones are copy-pasted in the background.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have lines. I guess he just kind of gave up after this point.
God. What a terrible fucking artist.
I mean, it's completely possible that Boichi does in fact live inside of a doghouse. I can see him saying, "I love, I love the brand of dog food that my editor gives me. Woof woof." I'm only here because of an award I received with Furodate-sensei as a judge. Thank you so much. I mean, yeah. I mean, Haikyuu is such a old, long-running series. It does make sense that everyone is saying goodbye. Like, yeah. Well, I mean, almost everyone.
Isn't for done?
No, he's the Haikyuu guy.
Okay, okay.
The Coach Kami guy was Osamu... Oh, what is his actual name?
I mean, they just said it above, didn't they?
Where?
Weren't they just saying it was glad for Coach Kami's return? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were talking about Coach Kami's
No,
author.
not at all.
There.
Not at
Gotcha.
all. Boy. I kind of wish everyone was just saying, goodbye for Furodate-san, because all the other comments are bad. They're all hot garbage. Anyways, that's all the comments, and this was Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of July 19th, 2020. Real weird that I streamed absolutely everything. Thanks for being around, Zaku. I guess Novo had to leave, even though he really wanted to see my reaction to Black Clover. Whoops. Well, he'll see it in the version on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye for now. Nya nya.